Hey everybody, welcome to the Beginner's Guide. Yeah, this is by the same guy who did Stanley Parable, which I've never actually played on my channel before, which I think is a real shame, so maybe I'll play it after this. Yeah, so this isn't supposed to be like as quirky or weird as Stanley Parable. It's supposed to be a little more serious and kind of like make you have feels about things. So yeah, I thought I would check it out. It's gonna be a full playthrough. It's an hour and a half long, so get ready. Also, I'm recording my face cam with an actual camcorder, so my movements seem a little more fluid than yay. Also recording this on a new sound card, so there's a whole lot of new things that could be fucking up. So let's hope this goes good. So let's just go. I have audio on, and I know the WASD controls.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Huh. Okay. That was a lot of exposition? Yeah, and talking.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift to structure imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
So this is in November 2008. I wonder if this Coda guy's an actual real person.
You can click to fire the gun.
There's like no sound to it. Cute.
Security call breached.
Okay.
Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Are there?
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Really?
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
A nice skybox.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh, Coda. You silly bitch. The track lighting on the floor isn't bad.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh my god, thank you. This guy's awesome, thank you.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, you there,
Hi.
in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering a whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Sure, why not? Who are you?
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Awesome. Oh my god, look at that fucking maze. I would have been so pissed.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Interesting. So this is the same month. The past was behind her. Interesting. I can't walk. Oh.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
What? Okay. So like, oh, this is gonna be awkward as fuck.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and
Feature
narrative.
could not be seen. Got
It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda is
feature
trying to give
changing?
it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
What? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. This is actually kind of cool. Like, this is a terrible idea for a game. But the future is always behind her. Because, like, you can't see the text until you walk backwards. How will she find strength? To confront it. Huh.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Same month. These rocks, though. Oh god. I think I played a Unity horror game like this. You're now entering. Anything changed behind me?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Huh. Alright, so this is the next month. Let me...
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
What?
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him.
Huh.
And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Interesting. I kind of wish I could move the subtitles down to the bottom, but I guess it makes it easier.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Oh my god.
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. This guy's like a masochist. Stand on X, staring at bear for 3 hours. Just a relic. What? Just walk around talking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
A button to press. A button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work. Press U to surrender.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Huh. You play as loud bodiless sound walking around confusing people. Some of these sound awesome. This is in January 2009. Ready, set, fish. Alright, what you got, Coda? You made all these in the source engine, eh?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
What? Come on, man. Oh, yeah, I guess that was there. Was it?
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay. He really likes his track lighting. Or recess lighting, is that what it's called? I like it too. Coda's got nice style.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
What?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
So now am I back at this one? Oh, you are now exiting.
Aha. So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
My mind's already blown. The Great and Lovely Descent. Hey, this looks nice. There's actually a
Let's
hidden...
talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
So there's actually a hidden level in...
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
There's a hidden level in Sonic Dreams
The
Collection.
tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
It's set in a very white world like this, except a lot creepier. What? This looks awesome. I'd play this. Am I doing it right? Homie, you need to help me out. You need to tell me if I'm doing it right. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Okay. Whoa. This reminds me of Antichamber. Fuck. Oh, okay. Well, that was nice of him to not kill me instantly. Homie is really good with lighting. Nani? So these like oh, come on, man. Oh. Fuck. This is actually really cool. I'm enjoying it. Oh, oh, I'm in jail.
Funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Thanks. Fuck.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
Wow.
Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
So Coda seems really vindictive if you disagree with him. So like, I kind of agree with the main guy though. Like, you want your game to be playable. You can still tell a story and like portray an emotion, but you gotta be able to play your fucking game. Don't torture your players.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. Thank you. I would appreciate it. Hello.
Here,
oh, you
Coda
can't see
begins
this.
using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Oh, actually, I'll put my face cam down the bottom right so you guys can see this. I forgot I'm not recording it with OBS. You there. Did you come from up above? What was up there? Yes, the world was stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there was floating colored blocks. Prison. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Do you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. Again, perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I guess that one? I don't know. Must think harder, please. Try hard to remember. It is so important that we get out of here. We must escape this prison. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please, tell us how to reach the end. Bye. Hey, guys. Hello, how'd you get here? Was there a puzzle passed through? Yes, you wanna know how to solve it? No, actually, we actually find the black space between the doors before more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. Okay. What?
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I'm like, my brain trying to process like the hidden meaning behind everything. Hey, nice open area with windows and stuff. This looks nice.
It's a lamppost.
Sure
Okay,
is.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Huh.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
Okay.
He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
So it's like the end goal.
We're going
like
to see it in the
finish
work
line.
as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. So we can treat the lamppost as like a finish line now for some reason? I wonder why he likes the lamp so much. This game's connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Hey, Dark Souls! All notes you see are left by other players. Oh. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
So he wrote all these notes? Hello. Reasonable.
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Hey.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
I kind of want to read all of them. Yeah, like they
But it's
turn
ironic, isn't it?
gray.
That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Huh. This game is no nice. I would like it when I could. Do you feel like a hero yet? So that one, the really long one, is about like a flying penguin and shit? In a world full of notes, one man will read them all this summer. You will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Too many messages in this area. Why? Hey, I can type here. Rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. The guy over there wrote much wrong. Running out of space. Soon, we will suffocate. Cool cavern, bro. Yeah, let's read the super long one. I saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see anything, or I never want to see again if nothing will be that beautiful again. I'm crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. I must go do that now. Okay. Hope you guys don't mind if I read these. What the shit is this cavern? And he wrote all these. This is so weird. Boring. I can assure you, guaranteed, that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. It's kind of sad. I refuse to believe. Butt ass butt. That sounds like my friend Psycho. I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Recognize me, please. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Excuse me. A free t-shirt. Need the other side. Door. Why you so... Make games includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door how open? It is kind of a troll. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. New room! Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I like very much to be desired. It's not very crowded here. Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. And don't bother. You can go in here, I think. Welcome, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. It's like all these kind of seem like they're like his own personal thoughts. Like, it's where I get off. I failed to rate anything here. I am compelled. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Take my hand. Let's jump together. Tempting. Cabbage shapes our nation. What? What is that painting? It doesn't matter if you get over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. I think this is not going anywhere. Next time I'll do better. Yeah, like some of these notes like really seem like they're him. Not like him just like filling in space. I need someone to talk to. Yeah, like that kind of message. This is a note. Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Again with the little mood lighting. I love it. I'm gonna read all these goddamn notes. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Ethical. I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. I don't see anybody. Fucking liar. Devil Tower Star. It's about a game. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Devil Tower Star. Stop pretending you are other people. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, we will all die someday. Who are all of you? Are these like... Well done, all of you. Painting, what does it mean? Whoever made this has issues. Like, the fact that he told us, like, he wrote all these. Stop faking it. Like, this immediately makes me feel fucking depressed. Art. Hey, guys. How's it going? Just hanging. Help, I'm trying to speak. I think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. From up here, it just looks like dots. Cabbage shapes our nation. Again, I don't like cabbage. Cabbage is fucking gross. If you like cabbage, then I'm sorry, but you're gross. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Maybe I'll feel real someday. Well, I'm here now. We're all here now. Must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. Did you? More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Interesting. Almost there. I have seen everything. I have traveled the world. I have never told anyone. Huh. So the more... Is like the deeper I go, or is it the more notes I see? I wish the notes were the real world. There's always 3 black dots, too. Become one with the spiraling nonsense. Downward, keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I have been here literally for an hour. What the fuck do I do? How? How? This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how do you solve it? Developer, answers please? So there was a, you guys might be annoyed if I do this, but fuck it. That one note said like, let's hold my hand, let's jump together. I want to go see if I can actually fall down there. I don't know why, like I'm kind of tempted to like get all of the things. Even though he said there's nothing special that happens. Yeah, it's like the more notes I get, the more whispers. That's so weird. Oh, maybe it was just down there. Never mind. Wow, man, the more notes I get, the more whispers. Oh. It's quiet now. It's like there's stuff down there. Alright, I'll just make this quick. And if I remember while I'm editing this, then I'll cut it. Okay, so I walk back up there, and nothing happens. You can't jump off, like that one note said. Like, there are notes down there, and I want them. The completionist in me is... whatever.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, Before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
So these guys can't figure it out? It's super easy. Maybe that's like his own like internal monologue, thinking like this problem that he's stuck on, he can't get past it. How do you leave notes? Oh my god. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. Wow. May, June 2009. Porn stars died too.
Okay,
oh my
this
god.
one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. I'm sorry, let me get comfortable again. It's gonna be a long video. Okay. Whoa. The way he decorates his levels is fucking awesome. Just like the overall architecture of it. Like I want a wall in my house that looks like that. That looks rad. Where's that? That music dough.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
So, it walks you down to the bottom of the well. The furniture ought to go in the center of the room. Giant hole? Okay. What should go on the wall? Put a huge picture of a horse. Fuck you, man. What should we use to light up the room? Skylight. I'm thinking a 10 by 12 recessed electric soft LED ceiling light. I want a live Tesla coil. Oh, okay. Asshole. Fucking dick. Table, you need a table. Who are you? Where are you doing this from? I'm very sure none of my choices are making any difference. Fuck you, man.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
He made a maze out of the tables.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
I want to walk around. Come on, man. Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape my prison, or escape any prison environment. Please follow instructions carefully. Take care to remember each step. First, click on this table. Good, go over the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. There's the 3 dots again. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little bit. Finally touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start. Okay.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
What a
Here's
bastard.
a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen.
What?
Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
So he makes a prison game, but there's no prison? What does that mean? I always like to look behind me, because this guy seems kind of fucked up. Like he'd hide something behind me. This game's like tearing my brain apart. In a good way. But who was phone? Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I escaped. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep. I was in the furniture maze.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
So I said I was in the furniture maze. That's where I am now. Blah, 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 blah. What's it like to escape? Feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. It's strange, but I kind of miss being in the prison. Why? Is there anything good? Was there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. True, maybe I only like things once I don't have them anymore. It was comfortable. I knew its limits. I knew my place. Is that good, though? It's comfortable, but it's inhuman. I couldn't live this way. You don't need to. You just need to be patient. Having limits is way more important than you realize right now. You'll see what I'm talking about after you've been there for a while longer. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just tell me how you feel. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Until Dawn. Colette.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
This is nice. Somebody spilled their drink. That's rude. Hi. Well, my goodness. I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Well, fuck, now
You'll
I need to remember to switch my...
The art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Huh. Don't worry about... Okay, so, Mike, don't forget to switch the things. Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. And lousy homes make home loners. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? All these feel incredibly lonely. Run there, can you straighten the rug a bit? All the little details matter. You enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. I don't want to be insulting. Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm, and that rests the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out there? So, I guess like making games kind of like gives him some peace of mind. That's why he makes so many. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink on over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're here. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy? Yeah, I'm alright by that. Make it especially cheesy. No. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Yeah, this dish need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Last I checked, the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Aren't you the house cleaner? Why the fuck am I doing this? Can I open the fridge? No? Okay. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you please put them back on the shelf? Okay. Perfect. How about you come clear the dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
Huh.
It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Or else is this easy to clean? Do these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Sorry, my hands are getting sweaty. Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it. Otherwise, it owns you. Why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to future you?
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Present you wants to smooth out the rug in the bedroom, believe it or not. Trust me on this one. Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. What next? Come on. Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was gonna say it occurs to me that one's house is like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I feel weird about saying that. I get it. That's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cheesy. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Ugh. Thanks. Oh goodness, the pillows on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question. Do you enjoy
But,
this?
of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
My mind is like,
This one gets a bit goofy.
why'd you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No? You came here to be perfect. The workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is, not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It was so easy. It's so
About halfway
easy.
through the game, the perspective shifts.
Being perfect is effortless.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Kids should not follow their dreams. So I can't answer 2 and 3. Well, let me tell you right now, it isn't effortless. Then it's not the right answer. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Fuck, man. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you're torturing yourself, trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Oh my god. I'm like so blown away by this. You understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Fuck. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Ew. I'm developing a cyst. Gross. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Anyone want to do this? Do some ecstasy after this? There's no truth. There is no path. Can I go up and talk to this guy? Nope. Okay. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys, something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out. Nothing. No one. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone run.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
That is like a really good idea for a game. Like having to like be a teacher.
This one took a lot
and like have
longer
to also
than all
read
the
your
others
inner
for Coda
monologues.
to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
So we're on a stage? Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you'll be playing as me. You're gathering professionals. We're at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against the wall. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your chance to learn something from her, to gain something to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Where's the bathroom? What are you doing? You're deflecting. You're not saying what's actually on your mind. Stop dancing around it. Have a conversation with this person. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here's all my hopes and dreams. Oh, fuck. No, 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 no. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need to feel, maybe it's that you need to feel better feel of the setting. There are a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. Now talk to her again. Oh, this is kind of fun. Let's do this for a while. I love it. All right, you must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? You're messing it all up again. What? You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Fuck. Is this the end? Oh no. Am I back in the prison? So, okay, yes, now this is working.
The game
This is what it
ends
was
with
like.
this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius Trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. What's going on? Help, I'm blind. I can't see anything. What's going on? Why did I go blind? I can't see. How am I supposed to even read this? Please, someone talk to me. SS Whisper. Help, I can't see anything. Help.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Okay. Hey, buddy. The only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. Okay. Let's get up there faster so I can read what it says. I can't die like this. I can't die like this. Okay, let's go see what this guy says. Say something honest. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. I don't feel like it anymore. I'm out of ideas. It's draining me.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Can't figure out how to say the thing. I'm alone.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. Hello? Where does the island come from? How do I get out of here? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. Oh no. What happened? Did something change? There's a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me, to start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it. I know why it stopped. I can take you to it, but there's a problem.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Okay. I can take you to it, but there's a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Doesn't matter what I say. Deal. It's kind of the fact that like his friend, the guy that's playing, like took this long to realize Coda needed help, like up into this, like only up until this point. Jesus. Perfect. Come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
I've solved this puzzle before. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how you do it? First, you have to open the door. I have to close the first door. All right, what's next? Now you press the switch here. Huh, that was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Okay, here we are. Fuck, man. What are you talking about? There's no machine here. These are just words on some wall. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say the game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Sure, making games is easy. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying the creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy, and it never stops being easy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Don't worry about me, a place this nice. I'll be glad to stay here. Hey, it's me, I'm you. After you escape from the prison. I get it, that's a weird thing to say someone you just met. Yeah, so these are like things he already wrote. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Just never stop creating and you'll never feel bad. Perfect.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
It's not about you. None of this is helping. I'm going to vomit. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please, continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifice made for my work are worth it 100% of the time.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
There's no shame, no fear, no guilt. I'll be saved by my work. I believe this unquestionably. I'm a vessel for certainty. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free. So who are you? God damn.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
So is he like actually talking to his friend? Or is he just like just playing his games and then just being like, oh, this one made me sad, don't do that again. I'm glad to see you arrived safely. You've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation if you like. I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just be warned, there's someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. How'd you capture the machine? Will it be punished? Oh my god. You stopped.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. There's people out there. Can you imagine what pain you've put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? Here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. They've been so alone. Fuck, man. Apologize for leaving me. No? Nothing? Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. Fuck. Alright then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. Oh, gotta press it. Hello, this looks like Half-Life. My followers, my subscribers, my Twitter followers. Falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. It's not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We'll find a way to live without it. We don't need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Follow me. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. I'm back on the stage. my god. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Coda, make sure you are known forever. Isn't that what you're scared of? Having to live without your precious creations?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
But are you actually talking to him? Like, are you, as a friend, talking to him?
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy.
Fuck, man. It's not about you.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower. And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
The range of like emotions that this is pulling out of me right now is just like baffling. I haven't played a game that like made me like feel and think things like this in a long time.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
This is impossible. All right. And like all the crying and stuff like that, it's a female crying. And like there's that.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Okay, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of the last game that like made me actually like feel something like this. So there's Soma, which happened recently, and then before that, it's been quite a while. I feel like, I don't know.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
Wow.
So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
So that's not how depression works. Like you can't fix depression. Especially from like an outside standpoint. Like the best thing to do is just to talk to the person.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Oh my god, thank you.
And he wouldn't.
So you can't know somebody by their work. Like you just have to ask them, how are you? Like, how are you doing?
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
Wow.
But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Okay, so that's the first time that the narrators actually said that they are unhappy. So they were trying to relate with this person's work somehow.
Where did I screw up?
Fuck. I thought he was just being like a douche. Now I see like he's going through some shit too.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I?
Wow.
It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Wow. I bet walking into a room like that would be like a punch in the gut. Like if I was playing a game and like a game that my friend made, and then like there's a room that just says, "Hey Mike, go fuck yourself."
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You're so...
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
That strikes home pretty hard with like reviewers and Let's Players. Because I mean, like, right now I'm showing off somebody else's work. And the comments I get make me feel good. But this is somebody else's work that I'm showing off. Like, I'm adding my own, like, commentary over it and, like, my own personal thoughts to it, but at the end of the day, like, I'm showing somebody else's work. So, I mean, that comment right there, I don't know, that strikes pretty hard. Like, what he said, not the writing. You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them?
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
Would you simply let them
What does that
be what they are? Hold on, my mind just imploded. Like the implications of what this means. You stop changing my games, stop adding lampposts to them. Because in the beginning he said he became fixated on these lampposts, didn't he? When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with the things, or this thing that you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. if I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
Yep.
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Fuck.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
I gotta take a breath for a second. That little in-between room, that's like one of the most like powerful things I've ever experienced in a game before.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Because, like, and it's also baffling me because, like, the entire time I was like, just talk to your friend, talk to your friend, talk to your friend. But, like, it was him. He's the narrator, is the one that needed the help.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
I'm like, oof. Fuck, man. Like, oh my god, this is getting me.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Hold on. Let's go. Sorry, I had to get up and take a breath for a second. I was getting a little overwhelmed.
What now?
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to compose my thoughts about this.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
So, like, I don't think this is based on a true story, obviously. But just, like, the writing and, like, the emotion that it's actually, like, able to convey is simply, like... It's masterful. Like, this is... To be able to pull something out of your players like this is... incredible. Yeah, like I am blown away by it. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to like compose my thoughts about this and like give like a full like breakdown of what I thought and the reason why I started feeling the way I felt. Because it is something that I want to say, and it's actually a video I've been wanting to do for a while. So maybe I'll do that eventually. Fuck, maybe I was doing it right now. So, I think the reason why it hit me so hard is because I've gone through 4 years of therapy to help with depression. And, you know, and in my opinion, it's not something that goes away. It's not something you can just fix. It's true, like what he said, like, he doesn't know what it would feel like to be okay with yourself without external validation. And that's something that took me a long time to realize too. Like, it took me until like my late 20s to realize that, like, just because somebody says that I'm good or that I'm worthwhile doesn't make it true. I have to believe it for myself. And it took me a long time to be okay with that. Like, it took me a long time to be okay with myself. Just because of the shit that's happened to me in my life and just... Yeah, like, everybody's experiences in life are different, so this might not resonate true for you. But I don't know, like, this game resonated completely true with me. And so, like, yeah, it just brought back a lot of emotions and feelings. Like, all at once, too. Like, man. It's very rare that a game tries to tackle a subject... I shouldn't even say tackle, but, like, a game tries to address a topic like depression and anxiety. A lot of people think that, like, there's this image, if I remember, here, I'll write it down right now. If I have my pen. Alright, I'll have my pen. So I'll try to remember. Mike, throw up the image, throw up the picture of what depression actually looks like. So a lot of people think it's just feeling sad, but no, like, it's such a complex mishmash of all these emotions, none of which are happy. It's not just like boo-hoo, I feel sad. It's all this stuff. And it's like, it just made me feel all those things all at once. Oh, fuck.
Turn back.
For R.
Turn back from this cave. You said let
This project would not have been
me
possible without the
prove
following
that I'm
individuals.
brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles.
God damn.
And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong. So turn back,
Oof.
turn back.
This is one of those games that's gonna take me a while to like process and to really get my thoughts together about it. Alright, so that was the beginner's guide. I'm utterly blown away by it. The emotions that it conveyed throughout the entire thing, because it changes so drastically. And yeah, just the emotions that it conveys was phenomenal. Because I haven't seen a game that did it quite like that before. Like Gone Home, you follow a story and it kind of is like, it leads like a logical conclusion, but it, in this game, it makes you think that the narrator is explaining his friend's feelings, but really he's projecting his own feelings onto him. And yeah, and like at the end, when he says like he thinks he has some work to do, I highly believe that that's like, he's gonna, you know, look within himself, like maybe even get professional help. Yeah, that's what I think. Oh my god. So yeah, I've never actually really talked about my struggles with depression at all, ever, on my channel. There's only a few people that know about it. Because, like, you know, I run a gaming channel. I don't... Like, I'm not like a lifestyle coach and stuff like that. Like, you know, I get personal with the channel, but I don't get super personal with it. And yeah, after something happened recently in the YouTube world, somebody took their own life. And I was thinking about doing a video called Let's Talk About Depression, because I'd seen so many comments that were really just infuriating me, because it's like, a lot of people just don't understand what it's like to live with it. And yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go before I get all weepy again, because that's really, really, really embarrassing for me. Alright, seriously, check this game out. It's incredible. It's one thing to watch it, but it's another thing to just like sit and play it and put your own feelings into it. Yeah. This was incredible. Like, this is honestly... Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.